Every time the market runs, it feels like someone else caught the wave first. You hear about the stock after it's doubled. You wonder how these investors always seem to be one step ahead. Not just lucky, but early. There's a reason for that. While most people follow headlines, a small group of investors, the smart money, is betting on some seriously big names. They're buying strength, companies with fortress balance sheets, massive cash flow, and moats so wide they can weather any storm. And in this video, I am uncovering them all. When I say smart money, I'm not just talking about people who got lucky on a trade. I'm talking about the kind of investors who've built a track record over decades, the ones managing billions, sometimes even trillions, with real skin in the game. Think Warren Buffett. Think of the top hedge funds. Think institutional money that doesn't just make decisions on gut feelings. They make them based on deep research, long-term vision, and risk-adjusted logic. Smart money doesn't buy a stock because it's trending. They buy because the fundamentals make sense, because the business throws off consistent cash, because the management knows how to allocate capital, and because the price still leaves room for long-term upside. It's less about what's exciting today and more about what wins for years. So, let's get into the first one. It's a name you definitely know, but probably haven't looked at this way before. Bet number 1, Apple, AAPL, the cash-controlled growth king. Apple is one of those companies that people either overhype or completely overlook. But when you cut through the noise and just look at the numbers, what you'll find is a financial masterpiece, a business that's turned cash flow into an art form. Let's start with something most people miss. Apple has been aggressively buying back its own shares. Over the last decade, the number of outstanding shares has dropped dramatically, and that's pushed earnings per share way up even when net income stays flat. In 2015, Apple made around $53 billion in profit. In 2024, about $94 billion. During that same time, Apple's earnings per share more than doubled. That's not just growth, that's leverage without the debt. Speaking of debt, Apple did something really clever over the last decade. While interest rates were low, they took on debt. A lot of it, but not recklessly. They used it to buy back stock, reward shareholders, and still hold on to massive cash reserves. During its last annual report, Apple still had over $85 billion in cash sitting on its books. That's after all the dividends, all the buybacks, and all the capital spending. They could literally pay off every dollar of their long-term debt tomorrow and still have tens of billions left. As for margins, Apple isn't just selling iPhones, it's selling the ecosystem. Once you're in, you've got the Mac, the watch, the iCloud, the AirPods, the subscriptions. You're not just a customer, you're a lifetime revenue stream. This is what Warren Buffett calls a moat. It's not about having the best product, it's about having the product people don't want to leave. And the numbers back it up. Gross margins have crept up steadily over the years. Cash flow has been consistently massive, over $100 billion a year. Apple isn't trying to grow for growth's sake. It's growing smarter, more efficiently, more profitably. What smart money sees in Apple isn't just a stock that went up a lot. It's the best capital allocator in the world. A company that turns every dollar into more dollars, over and over again. It's not about whether the next iPhone breaks records. It's about the fact that Apple has built a machine that runs itself and throws off more cash than it knows what to do with. That's why Apple stays in smart money portfolios. Not because it's exciting, but because it's dominant, durable, and always quietly compounding. And if Apple is the king of buybacks and balance sheet strength, this next company takes the cake when it comes to margins, a business that somehow runs leaner, earns more per dollar, and still barely breaks a sweat doing it. Bet number 2, Microsoft, MSFT. If Apple is the cash king, Microsoft is the margin champ. This is a company that not only makes a ton of money, it keeps more of it than almost anyone else. It operates at scale, and it prints profit at scale. Let's talk numbers. In its last annual report, Microsoft brought in around $245 billion in revenue. That's huge. But here's what's more impressive. They kept $88 billion of that as net income. That's a profit margin of over 35%. Most companies would kill to keep even 10%. Microsoft's operating margin, 44%. These are elite numbers. But it gets better. Over the last decade, Microsoft's earnings per share exploded. from around $2.50 in 2015 to over $11 last year. That's not a fluke. That's the result of consistent buybacks paired with rising earnings. While Apple used cash to shrink its share count, Microsoft did it while also investing aggressively in new high-margin businesses. And the biggest one? Azure. Microsoft's cloud platform has become a quiet beast. It's now a major revenue driver, but more importantly, it's ultra-profitable. Add in Office 365, LinkedIn enterprise software, and a growing presence in AI, and what you get is a tech company that doesn't just innovate, it monetizes. Smoothly, recurringly, and with insane margins. Now, let's talk about the balance sheet. Back in 2017, Microsoft had over $76 billion in long-term debt. Fast forward to today, that number is down to around $42 billion. While most companies were adding debt, Microsoft was paying it down. At the same time, it still holds over $75 billion in cash. So even after investing in AI, making huge acquisitions like Activision, and expanding globally, they've remained financially rock solid. And they're not just sitting on that cash. Microsoft has been returning it to shareholders with dividends and buybacks, while still growing faster than almost any legacy tech company. Over the past 5 years, earnings per share have nearly doubled. That's while keeping debt low, margins high, and growth steady. Smart money loves Microsoft not just because of what it is today, but because of what it can keep becoming, without blowing up the balance sheet. It's not trying to be trendy. It's built for sustainability, scale, and silent compounding. It's the type of business that can handle inflation, recession, or tech cycles, because it's deeply embedded in the way the world works. The software moat is real, and the switching cost, massive. Once a business runs on Microsoft, they're not switching. Bet number 3, Johnson & Johnson J&J, aka the dividend tank. Johnson & Johnson isn't the kind of company that grabs headlines, and that's exactly why smart money loves it. This is a business built for stability. No hype, no wild price swings, just reliable performance year after year. Look at the last decade. J&J's revenue didn't skyrocket. It steadily climbed from about $74 billion to nearly $89 billion. But here's the thing. It never dipped hard. Even during global chaos, this company kept selling its products, kept generating cash, and kept rewarding shareholders. That kind of consistency is rare, and in investing, it's gold. Now, the earnings picture tells a similar story. Net income bounces a bit, sure, but outside of one-off hits like legal settlements or write-downs, it stays in the $14 to $16 billion range. The key? It's consistent. This isn't a company chasing the next big thing. It's a company that already owns a portfolio of must-have products, from Band-Aids and baby powder to cutting-edge pharmaceutical treatments and surgical devices. And behind the scenes, the cash just keeps coming. Free cash flow routinely lands in the $20 to $24 billion range. Operating income stays healthy. Debt levels are modest and manageable, sitting right around 0.5 debt to equity. That's a conservative balance sheet, one built to weather storms, not chase tailwinds. EPS has grown, slowly but steadily. It's not a buyback story like Apple or Visa, but more of a slow burn. Higher earnings, paid out consistently in dividends. In fact, J&J is a dividend aristocrat. They've raised their payout every year for over 6 decades. That is 60 years straight of dividend increase every year. So why does smart money stick with J&J? Because it's built like a financial tank. When tech gets shaky or consumer sentiment fades, healthcare stays steady. People still need medicine. Surgeries still happen. Chronic conditions don't take market holidays. And J&J is diversified across all those spaces: pharma, medtech, and consumer health. It's not trying to beat the market every year. It's trying to never lose badly. And in the long run, that wins. For big investors managing billions, a stock that delivers reliable earnings and raises its dividend like clockwork, that's an anchor. That's how you balance risk. So, while it's not flashy, it's foundational. And that makes it one of the smartest quiet bets out there. But not all smart bets are defensive. Some are just ultra efficient. In fact, our next company doesn't even sell a physical product, and yet it turns every tap, swipe, and click into profit. It is bet number 4, Visa, V. It's everywhere, in everything, and yet barely anyone thinks about it when it comes to investing. This is a company that doesn't need attention to make money. All it needs is for people to keep spending, and the world never really stops doing that. Now, let's clear up one thing. Visa doesn't issue credit cards. It doesn't actually lend money. It doesn't have to chase you down for late fees. What it mainly does is way simpler and way more profitable. Visa is the middleman. Every time you swipe, tap, or click with a Visa card, they process the transaction and take a tiny cut. It's like collecting a toll, but instead of roads, Visa owns the rails of global commerce. And that model? It's an absolute cash machine. In 2024, Visa pulled in nearly $36 billion in revenue and kept almost $20 billion of it as net income. That's a net profit margin of over 50%. Operating margins sit around 65%. These are outrageous numbers. For comparison, most good businesses run at 15 to 20%. Visa's making 3 times that, with barely any physical infrastructure. EPS tells the story even clearer. In 2015, Visa earned about $2.16 per share. In 2024, it's over $9. That's more than 4 times growth, driven by both rising income and aggressive share buybacks. Visa has been buying back stock like clockwork, reducing share count, boosting EPS, and returning billions to shareholders year after year. Now, let's talk about the balance sheet. Visa runs lean. It's not sitting on a massive debt pile. Long-term debt is modest. Debt to equity stays around 0.5, and they hold a healthy cash cushion near $18 billion. Combine that with predictable free cash flow, and what you get is one of the most efficient capital machines in the world. Visa is scale without stress. The business grows as global transactions grow. More e-commerce? Visa wins. More tap to pay? Visa wins. More international travel, subscriptions, mobile wallets. Visa is getting a cut. And they don't need to loan out a single dollar to do it. It's the ultimate example of a toll booth model. They don't care who's spending, where it's spent, or even what the economy is doing at the moment. As long as money moves, Visa profits. That's why Visa is such a consistent part of big portfolios. It's capital light, high margin, moat protected, and insanely scalable. And now, for our final name, a company that's been paying dividends since before some of these other companies even existed. It's old, it's slow, but it might just be the most enduring compounding machine in the market. Let's talk about Coca-Cola. Bet number 5, Coca-Cola K.O., the original compounding machine. Coca-Cola is about as far from flashy as a company can get. It's not building chips or coding AI, it's selling drinks, sugar, water, fizz, flavor. But somehow it's managed to stay one of the most powerful businesses in the world for over a century. Let's start with the most obvious. Everyone knows Coca-Cola. The brand is everywhere. Over 200 countries, millions of vending machines, restaurants, and shelves. But the magic isn't just in the logo. It's in the numbers. In 2024, Coca-Cola brought in over $47 billion in revenue. But more importantly, it turned that into more than $10.6 billion in profit. That's a healthy net margin, especially for a consumer business. And what really makes it stand out? Predictability. Year after year, Coca-Cola delivers. It doesn't spike in booms or crash in busts, it just keeps showing up. EPS has climbed steadily, not fast, but smooth, from around $1.67 in 2015 to $2.47 in 2024. That might not seem dramatic, but when you pair it with Coca-Cola's rock-solid dividend, one that's been rising for over 60 years, it's easy to see why smart money stays in. It is a cash flow generator that pays you to wait. Coca-Cola also knows how to navigate inflation. When costs rise, they raise prices, and people keep buying. That's the power of brand loyalty. You don't see many people switching to store brand cola just to save a few cents. That pricing power is one of the strongest business moats in consumer history. Now, the company does carry a bit more debt than some others on this list, around $28 billion in long-term liabilities. But with the kind of consistent cash flow Coke produces, it's not a problem. They've built the business around scale and repetition, and smart money knows it. When you look at Buffett's portfolio, Coca-Cola is an anchor. He's held it for over 40 years. Why? Because it does exactly what you want a core stock to do. It compounds, slowly, steadily, forever. It's not going to make headlines, but it will keep your portfolio upright when everything else is shaking. So, what do all 5 of these companies have in common? They're all big stocks, but not the loudest stocks in the room. They're not chasing headlines or hoping for hype. They're steady, efficient, and built to last. Whether it's Apple's buyback machine, Microsoft's margin fortress, J&J's dividend tank, Visa's toll booth model, or Coca-Cola's brand-powered cash flow, these are the kinds of businesses smart money quietly builds around. Because smart investing isn't about making the most noise. It's about making the best decisions when nobody's watching. It's about choosing durability over drama, consistency over chaos. And that's what every company in this video delivers. This doesn't mean you go out and buy all 5 tomorrow. What it does mean is, if you're building your own strategy, these are the kinds of traits worth paying attention to. Strong financials, real moats, predictable cash flow, long-term logic. Want to know Warren Buffett's crash-proof strongest bets for 2025? Click the video on screen to find out.